Okay, hello everybody. Bushcraft Dave, episode 2. Just headed into Treeton Woods. I'm gonna work my way down into the woods and try and find a suitable place to set up. Just do a little bit of cooking. Yeah, it's really cold today. I've done about 3 kilometers already just to get here from my house. It's evening time now, so I've probably only got about another 2 or 3 hours more of light. So yeah, I'm gonna work my way through the wood, find somewhere nice to set up, just set up a little camp, not for very long, and yeah, cook myself some food. Enjoy. So it's pretty nice in here. There's lots of like bike tracks and stuff. So clearly, like during lockdown, the people with their off-road bikes have been in here. All the ground is incredibly muddy. But you know, you're in the wood completely on your own. Sorry, I'm just totally slipping about here. It's such a pretty cool feeling. But then, just had a squirrel run out on me, like out of nowhere, and properly just cacked myself. Not that it actually came anywhere near me, but you know, because you're not expecting it. Nice little stream just next to me. It's a really pretty part of the stream that's just running through here, but one of the reasons I've just stopped here is all of this greenery here. Like, I don't know enough yet. I feel like I need to learn a lot more. You know, you guys are all following the same journey as I am, as I'm learning some of the bushcraft stuff, but I'm convinced that all of the greenery that I can see all around me here is wild garlic. If the dish I was making today would want some garlic in it and I knew a little bit better, I'd probably pick a bit of this and use it, but I don't know enough yet. Something more to learn, but if anybody out there happens to know or do some research, these kind of broad leaves, and when you snap it off, it certainly smells really like oniony, so it makes me think it is, but yeah, don't know enough yet. Bit more research to do. Just left Treeton Woods behind, and now hopefully I should be making my way to Treeton Dyke. From there I'll get to the lake. I'll try and find a little spot to eat something. Jobs are good. I'm really hungry. I'm ready for something to eat. Yeah, beautiful. The sun is coming down. I reckon I've probably got about another hour and a half before maybe it's going to get dark, but that's enough time for me to get my food eaten and then get my way back home. I've made it to absolutely gorgeous looking Treeton Dyke as the sun is just coming down and glistening off the lake. So I found a nice spot where at some point somebody's tried to do a little shelter, probably successfully, but it's been knocked down now. But it's a nice little sheltered space. I'm going to clear some leaves away so that I'm definitely not causing any problems. There's a horseshoe in that tree. Must be lucky. So yeah, I'm going to get set up and I'll show you what I'm cooking. Okay, so this is what I've come out to cook with. I've got a brand new Trangia 27, I think it is, 27 or 25, can't remember. It's the one that you can use for 1 to 2 people cooking. So if you've not seen one of these before, basically the lid also acts as the frying pan. I've just got some matches and a lighter in there just so I can get going. A pan handle, stove, which I'll show you in a minute, and then you get 2 saucepans as well. They just nest inside each other. It's 2 little aluminium pans. I think they're about 1 litre or 700 mils or something like that, but good size. I'm definitely going to be using those today. Probably use the slightly bigger one. And then the main bit is the 2 parts that make up the stove. So at the bottom you've got a wind guard that you put the Trangia burner into, and then this sits on top and acts as a wind guard, which ultimately then when you're cooking with your pans can just sit inside and cook on. But I'll show you a better shot of that when I've got everything set up. So inside this bag we get the Trangia burner itself. They recommend you always keep the bag and always put the Trangia stove back inside it, just to keep any potential sort of chemicals and fuels that you've got away from the things that you're going to be cooking food on. So I'll just pop that bag in my pocket. I will be making sure I take all my rubbish with me. I've even, by chance, I should have thought about it, but I've got myself a carrier bag to put all my rubbish away in. So this is my first time using this. The stove itself, you put the fuel inside there, set light to it. I've just got some methylated spirits that will burn in there, and it also comes with what they call a simmer ring. So basically I can shut that to a slightly smaller size, pop it over the top, and it effectively works like reducing the rate at which you want the fuel to burn. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get some fuel in there. Get some fuel in, get it lit. It reckons that if you fill the stove to about 2/3, it'll burn for about 25 minutes, which is pretty good. I've got some onions I want to fry. That'll take about 5 minutes. And then when I've eventually put the water and the lentils in, that's about another 15 minutes. So hopefully the fuel that I've put in there will be absolutely fine. So just to go through all the bits and pieces that I've got for this. Basically I'm going to make a lentil dal. I've got some oil, which will need to go in for frying the onions. So I'm going to chuck the onions in. So just cook those off until they go nice and soft. It's really peaceful and calm here at the minute. Right, just while those onions are frying off, thought I'd just do a quick hello, seeing as it's Mother's Day tomorrow as I filmed this. I'm hoping maybe I can get this edited and out on Mother's Day. So just a quick happy Mother's Day to my mum. I really like the fact that it made me laugh, certainly last week when I put the first video out, that my mum really enjoyed it, which is brilliant. But one of her first thoughts was, did you go in the house with those mucky boots on? Now, she's absolutely right to ask those things, because as a younger kid I was a bit of a nightmare, and I'm sure that I would have been regularly walking through the house with muddy boots on, and probably even as a teenager and maybe even in my 20s I was pretty useless. So apologies mum for all them times I walked through the house with muddy boots, muddy football boots, and certainly I will make sure that today, because it has been muddy, I will definitely make sure I clean my boots before I go into the house. But I hope you have an absolutely fantastic Mother's Day, Mum, and also a shout out to my mother-in-law, who I'm sure is watching as well. Jenny, I hope you've also had a fantastic Mother's Day, and I hope you get a nice, peaceful, restful day, and when all this crazy lockdown nonsense has stopped and we're all able to visit and see each other again, then I'm sure we'll have to raise a glass. Alright, but have a fantastic Mother's Day. Okay, so whilst I was chatting there, the onions have started to do that thing that they tend to do, and they stick to the bottom of a pan. They go golden. I don't really care, golden means more flavour to me. I made up a little spice pack, you can also see in there, hopefully, hang on, figure it out of the camera, yeah, there's an OXO cube in there as well, which I'll use later. But inside there I've got half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, and about 1/4 teaspoon of chopped chilli. So that can all go in and get cooked with the onion. This only needs to cook for a minute or two, like this, just to cook out the spices. I don't mind that that's stuck to the bottom because I'm going to put some water in soon, and the oxo cube, and some lentils. Yeah, I'm impressed by the heat coming off of this thing. I think I'll just put a splash of water in, just to try and loosen that off the bottom of the pan. Just a little bit. Need a bit more than that. But yeah, I'm nearly at a point really where I want to put my water in. But just putting a bit of water in will naturally try to deglaze the pan. Look at me using all fancy words like I actually know what I'm doing. Deglaze the pan. And it says about 150 ml, which what I'm thinking about is like half a can of Coke. Let's go with that for now. And then lentils wise, I've got about 50 grams of dried red lentils. Some of it is making its way to the forest floor. So the lentils have gone in. And I'm also going to crumble in a vegetable stock cube. And ultimately now, all of that just wants to cook and simmer for 15 minutes. So this is a completely vegetarian dish. No meat at all, obviously, and the only thing that's going to go into it that would stop it being vegan is I've got a tiny little bit of yogurt that I'm going to put on top. But by all means, if you were a vegan and you were going to follow this recipe, just don't put the yogurt on or use a vegan alternative. There are absolutely loads out there, Alpro and stuff like that. So just putting the spinach in there, just add a little bit more water, and ultimately now I'm going to cook this till it gets nice and thick. I think I'm going to be pretty happy with the state that it's in by the time this really thickens up. Don't always trust the logs you're sitting on, because sometimes they're rotten. Oh, well, to be fair, where I'm perched right now with this log on the floor, I'm okay. Yeah, I mean, I've had this 6 times probably during this diet, and it's never disappointed once. I'd love to eventually be able to top it up with something else, but you know, like stick some chicken or prawns or something through it, just to give it a bit of something else, maybe some paneer. Speaking of which, I've got plans to do another cooking video. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to go and set up to do that one. I might do the same thing, might try and find a slightly different location, but got another video that I want to do cooking. So if you've enjoyed looking at what I was cooking this time, and you're going to maybe give it a go yourself, why not? But next week I'm going to be cooking a broccoli and paneer dish, all again using my Trangia, just bringing all the equipment and stuff out into the woods or wherever with me, and I'll have another cookout. But yeah, for now I'm hungry. I'm going to get this eaten, get packed away, get myself on my way home. So whilst I've still got some light left, I thought I'd quickly sign off. So it's been a pretty good walk. I reckon by the time I get myself back home, it's going to be around about 9 or 10 kilometres, something like that. But it's been a good one. First time taking the Trangia out and cooking on it. That's the stove I'm going to use when I go on my 3-day hike. So that's going to be the thing I'm going to use to cook every meal while I'm hiking. So it was good to give it a road test, to learn a few things about it, to know what to do. If you liked it, give it a like. If you think it's good, share it, show it to your friends. Alright, it's just a random daft bloke having a walk, but stick us a comment if there's anything you'd like to see in the future, any meals you want me to try and cook, any hikes you want me to try and do, especially because we're about 3 weeks from where I can probably go a little bit further afield, still local but a little bit further. So yeah, let me know what you think. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and see you in the next one.